But yeah, son, the fucking Dave Chappelle dropped a 18-minute video on Instagram called Unforgiven. It gave me the old fucking YouTube vibes, bro.
Unforgivable?
Unforgivable. That's my nigga, bro. You don't understand. Went to the Vans place to get some pants for me and my niggas. Like, I was gonna steal them. I ain't had no money.
Oh, son, wherever that nigga is, man, salute
I hope he's
you.
doing well.
I hope he's doing very well, man. He is a legend.
The nigga, I'm last joke before we get into the nigga. One of the joints, he said, came out there, made a sandwich. She was like, "Where mine's at?" She was like, "Bitch, I ain't your man." Like,
ain't your man.
I ain't your man. Like,
there was points in that video where he couldn't hold his laughter in.
Bro, that shit dying, bro, dead ass. But yes, so like I said, we had Dave Chappelle doing this 18-minute stand-up. Who knows if it was a longer stand-up or not? But the 18 minutes we got basically was explaining how his situation of coming up in the industry, basically dealing with fucked up contracts and such, and getting to with Comedy Central, being a young dude with a new family and such like that. He signed his contract. They all thought that he was gonna basically treat him right. You know, we know the ins and outs of the story with the Chappelle show. Leaves, goes to Africa for clearance and shit like that. Get his mind right. They try to say he was on crack. All of the crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Now he's basically telling us that with the whole situation that he told us briefly on the Saturday Night Live monologue that he wasn't getting paid for the newly dropped, well, not new, but the Chappelle show.
I thought he was joking when he said that.
He was dead serious.
Like, that's why this is all like a surprise to me, because I thought him and, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I thought that was like you know how his satire, like, he was joking.
I did not think he was joking, bro. Dead ass.
I did not think he was joking. Wow. I don't know if he was.
It really went under the rug because it was election season and shit. So a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is probably just gonna slip their mind." You know what I'm saying? Because it's they thinking of election jokes, all of that such. Chappelle show. Oh yeah, word. Okay, cool. But anyways, so basically, like I said, we do that. He briefly speaks it on air. Then we get to here where he expounds on it and says that he's not getting paid for it being on Netflix or HBO Max, and that made him feel bad. You know what I'm saying? That fucked with him, and he basically he fucks with Netflix so much that he hit him up personally, told him that situation, and they took it down.
Cool. Well, Netflix, that's your biggest part. Like, Netflix has made a lot of money with Dave. You have to keep him happy by any means if you're Netflix.
Oh yes, please believe. But then basically he tells us not to stream it because he doesn't want them to continue to make money off the shit. Don't stream it. And basically he had points he was talking about. He had thoughts of making his own shit. And if they don't take it down, he'll take it. You know what I'm saying? That's it in a nutshell. Now, if you want to hear it, how great it is, go to the Instagram and watch it. That's why he's Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta watch it, man.
But your thoughts on that, on the situation, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole joint, man, because that shit, I mean, a lot of people are kind of like,
they're split
50-50. Yeah, they definitely are giving their thoughts on this shit.
I think for me, like I said, I thought he was joking when he touched on it on SNL. I thought it was just a regular joke. We all laughed. We were like, oh shit. Like, but then, you know, when he expounded on it on the stand-up and he broke down just how Comedy Central basically, in a sense, took advantage of his talent.
It reminded me of that season 3 skit. The contract renegotiation.
Oh, where he has the barbershop and he's like, oh, $2 million. Like, yeah. Like, but he said it in the stand-up. He said, well, what's a 29-year-old with a son on the way gonna do? He's not gonna turn down money.
Yeah,
he's
like
not gonna turn down $50 million.
I never want to like incorporate that into that shit, bro. Like, I hate that.
And this is the thing too. And I was listening to the Joe Budden pod, and they touched on this as well. The thing with Dave is he could turn down 50 million, come back and make double because he's Dave Chappelle. He can do that.
Mm-hmm.
He has every right to. He has the talent to be able to. Not a lot of niggas could turn down 50 million. That's where you're worth. Sometimes that's over your worth. Dave knew his worth, turned it down, and now he's making more.
Well, you trying to say he was worth 50 million in 2003?
I don't know. By the time renegotiations happened after
Okay,
Chappelle
okay. So you talking about season 3 shit.
pre-season
Oh,
3
oh,
when he
okay.
signed. He was well worth 50 million before 50. He was well worth over 50 million at that point. At that point, motherfuckers were watching Comedy Central just for South Park and Chappelle Show. Let's be real here. Those two shows carried Comedy Central for years.
Yeah, it did, man. It did. It did. I mean, I think with the whole worth thing, they're talking about it as a like over time type shit. Like how it still like brings money and still accumulates money for Comedy Central and Viacom. It's like
Yeah.
to this day type shit. I don't think they were like looking at it in year 2 type shit. That's just my interpretation of it though. Like I don't know, but
He always said he was gifted too. Like he like on Star Search. Like he was gifted always.
oh well, he was good. Like he was always making moves and shit like that. Like you always seen Dave. We seen Dave Chappelle early, just doing little movies and shit like that. So
Dave was in We Got Mail. That's a white people movie. The fuck he doing in that?
he was around, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
But anyways, like I said, man. Now, how do you feel about? Because obviously we're Team Dave. We fuck with the shit.
Absolutely.
You know what
We're
I'm saying?
boycotting like a motherfucker.
Now, how do you feel with the whole situation of people basically saying, "Oh, well, he should have knew what he signed."
You see, and this is where semantics come into play, because you could say the same thing for many of contracts. You could say the same thing about Mace's contract with Puff. Why did he sign? Well, why did he sign? Again, you got a kid on the way. Dave was my age when he signed that shit. 29. Nigga.
Hey, they talk about young niggas coming from the hood too. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like,
never seen this kind of money before.
I'm a 29-year-old. You put 50 million in front of me. It'll be very hard to decline that.
Exactly, bro. Like, stop. People got to put themselves in that shoes, man.
Exactly. Like, no, and they got to act like they won't take that 50 million.
Yeah, you talking about you want to put your moms in a nice, you want to have your moms and family living right. You want to be living right. Like, come on, man. Like, people got to stop playing. Like, if you put yourself down as a young, hungry, you know what I'm saying, entertainer in this crazy world of Hollywood, these motherfuckers offer you a contract to do your shit, to bring your idea to life and such like that. You do it, you know what I'm saying, thinking you working in a place where you have is a safe place to be yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
and then it turns out not to be.
And it's the bait and switch. They told them, they go, oh, well, you can do this. We'll give you creative freedom. We'll give you this. We'll give you that. Just give us, 12 episodes a season. He gave you what he did. At Chappelle Show season 1 was what? 13 episodes, 14 episodes. Season 2 was about the same. Like,
I think it was more so though. It's just that I think it's people. Oh, I think people hate people's bravado. You know what I'm saying? Anybody with some type of bravado in their life. Like, I think people called him crazy. Even when the news and the media were calling him crazy for leaving the however many $1 million it was and shit, and just leaving that contract on the table. People was trying to say, oh, why, how could he just do that? What the, like, he's nuts. Oh, he gotta be this, he gotta be that, he gotta do this, he gotta do that. You know what I'm saying?
Because these armchair quarterbacks think they know more about contracts than him himself.
But it's not just that they know about contract. I'm talking about more so them looking at the person denying it. You know what I'm saying? I think that once they see that type of person with that type of bravado or confidence in themselves, they always look at it as, oh, that nigga is bugging. You know what I'm saying? Or he got to be crazy or something's wrong with him. And I think whenever somebody takes a stand for themselves against big corporations, a lot of people Real talk, they tend to side with these corporations, and it's really nasty. Like I really think that's some weird shit. Like,
Yeah, and like these corporations don't care about you, man. They
and they
care
know
about,
they don't though. That's the
and
thing.
they still side with them.
So I don't see how you can sit there like we know. I mean, I don't think everybody, but most of the people who are commenting on this shit more than likely know how Viacom give it up. You know what I'm saying? These are some bunch of soup motherfuckers like he was saying, like they was saying, these motherfuckers are people who care only about shareholders. Saying like we talk about with WWE. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers only care about shareholders, and we know where that shit goes. It always goes
You
to
know,
some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying?
it's
So
like the shareholders have more control than the product itself.
exactly. So when you talk about shit like that, how can you sit there and say you rather side with a motherfucker, just like we would say with the Chris Bias shit, who can word all of this shit in different codes that mean different shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't even really know what this shit is really, you know what I'm saying, adding up
Right.
to, but it's you know, it more than likely is fucking you over. You know what I'm saying? And they are getting their money out of it at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So
That
how could you sit there and really side with some like how could you side with fuck shit like that? Like, come on, man. Like,
no, and I think like the whole, oh well, he didn't know what he shouldn't have signed it to begin with. Like you don't know what that man was thinking at 29 with a kid on the way. You don't know that. You don't
I
know
want to
that.
know what niggas about to sit there and read a whole contract and act like they know what the fuck they reading.
You're
And
just
if
gonna see 50 million and go with it.
right, he sat there and say he got somebody to read this shit over with him, and they said that shit was good. He got fucked over, bro. Like, what is so crazy about thinking about somebody literally getting fucked over? Why? Because they successful? Like successful people not supposed to get fucked over and complain about it? Like people are still humans at the end of the day, bro. Like even though he said, "Yo, I got feelings and all that shit," whatever, that's cool. Yeah, that's the way he worded it. But people, we are human beings at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Money and all that shit is a fucking piece of paper. That does not strip away, you know what I'm saying, basic human emotion or your morals or stuff like that that should have like
You know what
it
they
shouldn't
say
strip
about
that away, but it does. You know what I'm saying? And
you,
people don't look at that.
you know what they say about people. You want to know somebody's true colors, you give them two things. You give them power, you give them money.
Exactly.
Like
And I think with us being in America, I think with us just being raised in such a capitalistic world and mindset that we always side with the sense of the people who we always side with the capitalists at the end of the day. Like, because it's like I feel like people always say like you're supposed to know. You're supposed to know. You're supposed to know. You should always
how though?
because I know it all knows. I know it all knows nothing. So if like I said, we gonna bring back. If I'm a 20-some-year-old kid with around in this office, and I got my guy here is telling me, you know what I'm saying, what he's here for, what I paid him for, what his profession is to read these things over. He tells me it's good. They
Right.
tell me everything's good. Okay, then I'm under the assumption shit is good. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
I
you
don't see
go
how
ahead
that's
and
hard to
sign.
grasp. But you got people that's really out here just saying that like, yo, he's trying to scam us. Like, how is he trying to scam, bro? If he's not making any money off of his art, I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't see how that's something that we supposed to just not look over. But I will say parts of it where it's like, where's Neil Brennan in this situation?
Yeah, he's surprisingly silent.
That's my only thing because he should be getting chopped out also.
Well, no, he should be giving. He should be a bit more. He should be as vocal as Dave
Well, but
about.
that's my thing though. Is I feel like it's a reason why he might not be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You thinking gag order? You thinking he's in cahoots?
no, 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 no. And I don't know what gag water is. That sounds disgusting.
Gag order, gag order.
Oh,
Gag,
gag. That sounds still disgusting.
no, gag
But
order is when they don't let you talk about a certain case.
I know it still sounds disgusting. I've never heard that shit in my life. But what I was about to say, no, I think with the whole season 3, him leaving how he left, with just like everybody just with their hands in their pockets, even Cass just sitting there like, well, what the fuck are we supposed to do now? I think we gotta give light to that part too. You know what I'm saying? Because even though this was Chappelle's show, Neil Brennan is the co-writer, co-founder, whatever you want to call it.
He
That
told something.
it's 50-50 with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you had guys like Donnell Rollins. Obviously, their relationship is still cool, but you had, you know what I'm saying, a lot of guys were left in the dust when you just did that. So that part, mainly Neil, I would like to see how he is definitely, you know what I'm saying, going to be added in the situation, or if he is added into the situation. And if not, that is a little weird to me, because if you're going to want to get, you know what I'm saying, some type of revenue or some of that nature for this show, he's definitely a part of that. Now if we talk about creation of a new show, then I got you. Then that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? But if we working on Chappelle's show, I think Neil Brennan definitely needs to be added into the equation of like this fight. Cause if it's some sour shit between them two, because he left and just like kind of left the money on the table type shit when they were partners, I will understand why he's not as vocal, because he's like, I'm not really fucking with bro right now, and this is just me. I'm not saying that it's true or not. This is just how I'm looking at it. He might not really be fucking with bro right now, so he probably looking at it like, well, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You ain't even, you know what I'm saying? You ain't even finish, you ain't even deal with what's over here. But that's that. But that's that pocket of the situation. The other pocket is, you know what I'm saying, Dave and his situation of his part of it. You know what I'm saying, signing the contract and, you know what I'm saying, doing all of that and such. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the 70, and the Neil Brennan is like the 30, because not a lot of people are talking about that, but I think it does need to be talked about a little bit more.
Do you think they'll pay him?
Probably, but I don't think he might get paid what he think he should get paid.
I think he's gonna end up taking a pay cut, a massive pay cut.
Yeah, but like I said, man, I guess would it be taken off of Netflix now? They just waiting for it to be taken off of HBO Max. I love the story of the HBO story. I've not fucked with them before. He brought Chappelle's show to them. They denied it, and now they got it on there now. Like, nah, they could definitely take my shit off. Like, fuck out of here. That in that case, I could agree with that shit.
That's like, nah, fucking crazy.
Like, suck my dick all the way. Yeah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Take my shit off.
I think he should just make a new one. Like, just think about it. Like, if Dave recreated something, not Chappelle's show per se, but something of that ilk, and like had, you know, people he sees like the IG comedians on there and shit like that, had them on there with the kind of support that Dave has these days, I feel like it would do good.
You know what I would like to see from Dave if he was to create his own? I like to see, this is just me, I like to see something like a mix of what they try to do with the Daily Show, with a mix of like the Eric Andre show, with a mix of what Chappelle's show was too. You know what I'm saying?
Eric Andre's too.
I said a mix. I said a mix. I didn't say do that. I said a mix because I like the craziness of it. I like the randomness of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what Chappelle's show was. Chappelle's show was random as fuck. Like
random skit.
You would get fucking like the camera fucking skit with the 10 years before, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you like just random shit like that, or like you'll get fucking hated the player haters in time travel and shit. Like that's random. That's some random ass shit, bro. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I say it's some quirky shit, like, but in like a talk show type form. Like I said, mix up like the daily news, like the world news. Like he can give his like views on the news, like the Daily Show or whatever. But have the interviews, the funny shit like that. Like the
that could work though.
He can do his skits and shit like he does from the, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just me. But obviously, if he does something totally different, I'm still gonna watch.
Because he's leaning. Well, he's always been an observationalist comedian. So that Daily Show kind of approach would actually fit. Like Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah is the same way. Trevor Noah is an observationalist comedian. what's he on? He's on the Daily Show now, right?
That's how most of those comedians who work around that world are.
It fits it
Stephen
perfect.
Colbert, John,
Mm-hmm.
like all of those guys are observationalists. Even what's my man? Like a lot of writers for them are too. Like Larry Whitmore, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I don't know, he doesn't write for them anymore. He used to for
Larry,
Jon Stewart and such.
Larry
But
Whitmore is a savant. There's shit that I didn't even
oh,
know Larry
he's a
Whitmore.
legend to me, bro. Like he's a growing legend to me. Between I love the show he used to have on Comedy Central after he left Daily Show and such like that. Like I forgot what it was called, but I fucked with that joint. Then him co-creating Insecure
Mm-hmm.
is one of the biggest things for me. So
He
he
wrote
always
on The
good in my
Office
book,
too.
huh?
He wrote on The Office too.
Oh, come on, see, yeah, he good in my book, B. But yeah, man. So with Chappelle, man, like I said, I'm in with the shit. Like I said, I'm not gonna be. I'm glad they took it off. I don't even got HBO Max. You keep it all with you.
Real niggas got a Fire Stick or the DVDs. We don't need it on the streaming service.
Yeah, bro. I'll watch the shit. If I just need to laugh, I'll watch the shit on the Fire Stick, bro. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? But please give us something new for real, so we don't have to continue to watch the old. I'm gonna
Fact.
keep it call with you.
Because
We
now I feel
really
guilty.
want something new. Like the stand-ups are great. What did you say?
It feels guilty watching it now.
Well, I had remember when it first dropped, we all ran through that shit real quick. So it was kind of I
Yeah.
had to give myself a break after a while. So when the shit dropped, I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, man, like I said, the stand-ups are great. The stand-ups are really great, but I'm definitely ready to see him jump back into a new bag. A new bag for real, for real.
I want him to get in that Daily Show idea. That would fit him very well. It would fit his comedic approach.
What the reason why I don't want him to do that just specifically because you got him doing that. You got fucking what's my shorty? I forgot her name is Amber something. But her on the Peacock network joint that they got that news joint on there. Who else they got? I think it's one more, but I can't think of it.
I
But
think Trevor Noah on the
yeah,
Daily
yeah,
Show.
yeah, yeah. We said Trevor Noah, but yeah, I don't want to do that exactly. But you know what I'm saying? Do something where he's speaking on world news type shit because he definitely gives a great take on shit. But yeah, man, that's all I really got for that shit because I'm more so just waiting to see what happens now.
I think he'll get paid, but it won't be like I said. It'll be a
I don't
pay.
think they're gonna pay him.
It'll be a pay cut.
I don't think they're gonna pay Chappelle. Viacom is some they really some dicks.
Viacom. These are the people that own MTV too, I believe, right?
And BT, and VH1,
You,
and
you
multiple
see how
other.
they did. You see how they did Nick. You see how they did Nick Cannon, right? For
You
speaking
know
his
what I'm
mind.
saying? You see what I'm saying? So it's like just I don't want to say take your ball and run go home because they got your ball and they own your last name in a
Take your
sense.
ball if you feel like you're worth it.
He definitely got to come with something like totally fresh because they own Chappelle show. They own
Mm-hmm.
the name, the likeness of it and shit. So I've not noticed why he just been rolling around with just the C. You know what I'm saying? But I believe he'll be able to cook up something, man. I honestly believe he'll be able to cook up something with the success of all of these great stand ups and his content that he gives us and such like that. I think he'll be able to still cook up something that'll be able
Oh
to
yeah,
people.
he still got it too. I feel like he still can throw on. He can put on a good skit. Every time he's on SNL, he kills it with the skits.
No, that's facts. The fucking what was the joint where they had it
The
was like Aunt
Negan.
Jemima, all of the different like black characters and shit. They was all getting fired and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was funny as fuck, man. But no, man, shout out Dave Chappelle. Good luck on his endeavor, bro. Hopefully you know what I'm saying, this shit works out for him, man. Cause definitely Chappelle show is definitely like a staple in our childhood. So we
Hell
want to
yeah.
definitely see him be compensated for it. If not, you know what I'm saying, take that shit.
Facts,
It is
man.
what it is.
He's a legend in this game, man. He should be treated as such.
Facts, bro. Real facts. Real facts.